check, 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 hey, check, hey. Sound check, 1, 2. Sound check, 1, 2. Sound check, 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 sound check. Put on your mic first. We're starting 2:15, right?
This one is for online streaming.
Too many buttons already.
Itulah.
This one tell you that I don't accept. Right. Yelah, I baca ikrar, you tak baca. Oh, saya benci orang rasuah.
Am I blocking the camera? No. Setting it no.
What is it?
Yeah. Okay.
So,
But we'll be walking around a bit.
so this slide is where after this you take over this lah. You say that's
But
why we
this
call
one you cover
ourselves.
kan?
This one I cover lah. So then right after that you continue.
Tapi this question I don't think I can remember.
If you keep telling your brain that I cannot, then you cannot.
No, I tried.
The motivational guru tell you that you need to
Yalah,
believe that
but
you can.
You know. That we create.
Continue the session. Give round of applause.
Okay, Assalamualaikum. Good afternoon. Can you hear me clearly? Those at the back, without the mic. Okay. Apa khabar semua? Bagus, baik. If you join MLM, maybe you are used to luar biasa baik. But I think for our session, is the door closed? Okay. I don't want to intrude that side because sometimes my voice can go across buildings. Okay. So for our sessions, normally what we do is that we always ask how you're doing, apa khabar, since we are Malaysia. But the answer that we expect from all of you is one word, mantap. Can we just make the change for today's session? Okay, apa khabar semua? Okay, not loud enough. I think everyone have had the break and also have the lunch. So, apa khabar semua? Okay, good. So, today, for today's session, actually, there will be two segments. Okay, the first session will be conducted by both of us. Okay, so I will start first. You can ignore him. He will say something later on. Okay, and then we will follow by Puan Saliza, who will be sharing about her experience running a family business. Okay, don't worry if you see as if like we are fighting, having cat fight, whatnot, that's normal. Okay, now between two of us. So what we're going to cover today, actually, we're going to share with you, start with an activity. And we are going to focus on something called entrepreneurship DNA, and also a powerful word called having a purpose for your company. Okay, before that, let's quickly introduce myself. My name is Fairuz. You can call me Bro Fairuz if you want to. No doctors because I'm not eligible to give any MCs. So just call me Fairuz. Okay, I'm currently assistant professor and a former dean of faculty of management at Matimdia University. Okay, on top of teaching, I also conduct a lot of corporate training, including in areas of design thinking, entrepreneurship, strategic management, KPI setting, and whatnot. Okay, and normally when we are in a training session, both of us will be conducting the training together, and normally we'll be arguing each other throughout the training. So just make sure you get familiar, you get comfortable with that. Okay, apa khabar semua? Okay, good. So I'll pass to that person to say something. Okay, go.
Okay, so you can just call me Jin. Now, I don't introduce much. I'm from MMU, so I'm not teaching. I'm a director there. Well, why I'm here, he said he will be doing most of the talking. I am here to make the room look a little bit more handsome. Now, you know, sometimes you have someone very knowledgeable doing the sharing, but to the benefit, especially the ladies, they want to look at something more handsome, just like guys as well.
I think they just had a full lunch, you know.
Yeah, so
they need to run to the toilet later on to
a good dessert for everyone.
Okay.
Okay, so Fairuz, there is a famous Chinese saying say that 富不过三代, or literally we say wealth does not last 3 generations. Sounds scary, right? You heard it before?
Yeah, I heard it before, but what does it mean? What does it mean?
It just means, you know, for most of the businesses, the wealth does not carry beyond the 3rd generation. And one simple observation that we see, many Gen 2 over here, is an alarm to all of you. And why this is happening? Many reasons. And one of the main reasons is the purpose, the founding purpose, and the DNA of the company are forgotten in the cross-generation succession. So you carry the leadership over to a new generation, the wealth or the share passed down, but unfortunately, a lot of time, the purpose of the organization and the DNA does not pass down across generation.
But Jin, how is it relevant to all these established business people, those in family business? Why do you need to know all this?
Yeah, because in family business, you can find something, a dilemma over here. You have a limited talent pool, especially if your company grows fast enough, you have a limited talent pool. You cannot make all the key positions within your family. And the scariest thing is, like the sharing just now, your siblings might just want to plug somebody and put it there. On top of that, you have also another choice where you can get in professional management to run the company. But when professional management are in the company, how well you can align them is a challenge. Remember, professional management, their main motive is the bottom line. Make sure that the company have the profitability that they want.
And of course, from early on, you've been talking about purpose. Why purpose?
Yeah, as a Chinese, so I share with you again, there is a famous saying that 君子爱财，取之有道. So what is it? Yeah, you can make money, but you must make it in a proper, outright, and just way. We call this as Tao.
Okay, so you've been sharing this Chinese saying, that Chinese saying. Maybe you just want to show off that you read a lot of books. But is there any proof to what you're saying now?
No, I'm just trying to tell you that I'm a Chinese.
Okay.
Okay, so obviously beyond all those Chinese saying, there are a lot of academic research done by professional company as well, saying that if a company is purposeful, your customer will be more satisfied. You can engage your employee better beyond the salary that you pay to them. You manage your stakeholders better. Companies are also more innovative and produce better quality product because you have purpose beyond making money. Now, business transformation is easier as well if you are guided by purpose. And the last thing is, no worry, the moment you don't prioritize profit, profit will come if you have the right purpose. So this is no longer Chinese saying. These are all research outputs showing that, well, it is important to be purposeful.
Okay, so for all the entrepreneurs here, they would like to know, okay, how do you have this purpose? What is the source of the purpose to the company?
Now, purpose number one, go back to the founders. If you ask founders, what is the purpose when you set out the company? I bet you 99.99% of them won't tell you that I set out the company to make money. I repeat, saya ulang, 99.99%.
Saya ulang.
Saya ulang.
Okay.
99.99% of them won't tell you that I set out the company to make money. So go back to the founders, why they set out the company. The next is, if unfortunately you can't communicate with the founders anymore, now what made your heart sing? Your most excited moment of running the business might not be a recorded highest sales, might not be a recorded highest profitability, but maybe sometime the customer tell you, exactly, this is what I'm looking for. That really made your heart sing. So ask yourself that question. And the third way to find your purpose is, what guides you in making the most difficult business decision? All businessmen struggle. That's why we are not businessmen. All businessmen struggle. Now, what guides you going through the most difficult decision, including why you continue running the business? And that is the purpose of your organization. Okay? So it is very important for every company to create purpose, because creating purpose makes your company good. Embedding purpose make your company great. If you want to make your company invisible, you need to systemize it.
Okay, you're using a lot of big words here, invincible lah, systemizing lah, embedding lah. Can you elaborate a bit further?
Okay, to make it simple, creating is simple. You create a big vision statement, you create values, you paste it everywhere, like you see in most of the big company. Does it mean they trust it? Does it mean they practice it? Not necessary. Embedding is where you start to give stick and carrot. You tell people that, look, you are governed. You have to follow all these things. Well, people like it or not, some people might be motivated to follow, some people might just be forced to follow. Systemizing is the highest level, where it is deeply embedded in everybody's heart. It is part of your culture and part of your norm. So when purpose becomes part of your culture and part of your norm, then your company will be invincible. The purpose is always there. Okay? And one of the ways to systemize your purpose is to make sure that your company have the right DNA, Fairuz.
Okay, apa khabar semua? Okay, not as loud as the early one. Okay, apa khabar semua? Okay, good. So when you talk about DNA, okay, of course we know that each one of us have a unique DNA that serve as our identity. When you are in an organization or your company, your organization also has a unique DNA because it relates back to the purpose of the creation of the company. You have your culture, you have your moral values, you have your practices. And the struggle now is that how do you ensure that not only you have the company DNA, or what we call later on entrepreneur DNA, but how can you ensure the DNA is passed to the next generation and also shared by all your employees? This is very important. So that's why we created a concept called the pronunciation is Entrepreneurship DNA because it's a French word. Anyone can speak French here? Maybe they can correct us. No one can speak French? Okay, then just trust us. That's the correct pronunciation. Or simply put, entrepreneur DNA. Or as Malaysian likes to do it, we can just say entrepreneur DNA. Okay, so that's our model. And for us, for any organization, regardless whether it's family business or corporate companies or small businesses, you must have this basic DNA that guides you as a company and so shared by your employees and shared by your next generation. So we call the first most important one is purposeful. Again, from the early session, we talked about having a clear purpose, regardless of how many generations the company is passed to, then the same purpose will still remain intact. And the second point will be passion. So this is what fires you, what motivates you. Most of the time when you start a business, you start with something that you are passionate about. Okay, money is one thing, but you are working on a business where you are really interested in. And our right side is system, because when it comes to actually sharing the same DNA with your employees and also your next generation, we must ensure that there is a proper system so that everyone can get their work done. You don't want the CEO to be here and there doing all the decision, doing all the work. Okay, when you are starting, that's fine. But once you get bigger, there must be proper SOP in place. Like for family business, there must be a family charter in place so that everyone can run the business even without you being physically there. And on the left hand is what we call creativity. Okay, we want to come up with new solution, innovate. So left hand normally defined as creativity. Left-handed, people always say that left-handed are creative people, right? And left leg is direction. So we must have a clear aim. What's our long-term target? What is our short-term target? And the right leg will be aggressiveness. Okay, I think as entrepreneurs, you will believe that you need to be aggressive. Okay, you cannot be so mellow. You need to take risks, but of course, you are not gamblers. You take calculated risks. Okay, so this is our basic model of what we call the entrepreneur DNA. So next is this is a process of creating the assessment letter. We did a very thorough literature review. We studied companies and we test all the assessment items before we come up with an online assessment item that we're going to try today. So what we need all of you to do now is to take up your handphone, just scan the QR code, make sure you have working internet, okay, Wi-Fi or data. Okay, please scan the QR code. The first page after you scan, click the link, and then it will ask for password. Just enter APFBS2024. Okay, the link is created solely for today. Okay, anyone having problem to scan the QR code? Nope. Okay, if you have problem, maybe it's time to change your phone. So this is the first page you will see. You key in the password. Once you key in the password, you go to the main page. Okay, and in the main page there are two assessments: individual assessment and organizational assessment. For today's session, we want all of you to do the organizational assessment. Okay, individual assessment is where you want to see the individual strength and weaknesses of your employees. Then we use the individual assessment. But now, since you are the founders, okay, or maybe you are the second generation or third generation of your companies, you want to see what is the entrepreneur DNA embedded in your company. So please click the start assessment for organizational assessment. Okay, you need to enter your name, okay, full name or just a short name, and you just put your email. Okay, and this one you can take if you want to accept further termination. If not, you can choose not to take. Phone number and company name is optional. Okay, apa khabar semua? Okay, so far, yeah. So let's go through the questions. So there are only 33 questions. Only. We'll give you sufficient time, maybe 5 to 10 minutes, okay, for you to go through it. Just answer the question as honest as you can. And again, this is not a test. This is not final exam. This is not a quiz. Okay, it's just more to understand better about your company DNA. So you can just scroll or you can just click the answer whether your answer to the statement is strongly disagree or strongly agree. Okay, just answer. We give another 30 seconds to answer. 20. Okay, we give like 5 to 10 minutes to answer. Sorry? Organization. Organization.
Mic up first. Oh, okay.
Yes, please
They're
do
not
the
using
organization assessment.
Okay.
Because the questions for individual assessment will be a bit
It's
different.
live, yeah.
So Jin, got any prize if you finish early?
Once the result
For,
says you will
for I say the special prize for all the participants for this session, right?
Huh?
Okay, those who complete the assessment, there will be a prize, right?
Yes.
The prize are waiting for them at the back.
This is like answering exam question.
Hmm.
So difficult.
You can just click. You don't have to.
Oh, okay.
You can also click the tab.
Oh, okay.
Jin, is that your stomach grumbling? The sound? Oh no.
so it's most likely yours.
Done? Oh, it's okay. It's just individual answer. So we're not collecting all the answers. Not it's just individual results. Everyone will see the individual results at once. So it's just for you. Okay. So we're not doing this data collection for study or not. This is just for assessment of your own entrepreneur DNA. For your, if you are not in a, if you're not having your own business, the question refers to your organization that you're working at. No need lah, not yet lah. Okay, anyone have finished? Okay, done. First one. Okay, that table done. This table done. Done. Okay, we'll just give another 10 seconds. Okay. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All done? Okay. So once you are done, what you do is that you just tick here to actually inform that you're not robot. Even if you're a robot, just tick also. Okay. And then you click submit answer. Okay. And what you will see on the next page actually, you will see the result in terms of the radar chart. And also you see this guy again. So this will be your score based on your answer just now. And again, this is not a competition. This is not a race. So you might score 5 in some of the areas under the entrepreneur A. You might score lower than 5. Okay, and these are the actually list of your answers just now. Okay. Anyone manage to get perfect answer? Again, no worries. Okay, because this is your company DNA based on your perception. If you are the founder, the second generation, the CEO and whatnot, this is your perception. So the next question that you need to ask yourself is that if I were to let my people complete, my staff, my family members complete the assessment, will the result be more or less the same? If it is exactly the same, that's fine. Means there is consistency between the founders' DNA and the employees and also the families' DNA. The question will be, what if there is a difference? That is when you are required to actually dig further and see, okay, why people are not having the same sense of graciousness as the founder. Okay, what we can do to improve. Okay, why the founder says that the company is creative, but other people say that no, company is not creative. So this is where, if you spend more time, okay, actually you can dig further, dig deeper, and actually find more answers to this question. Jin, you want to add anything?
Yeah, just to let you know, as the two important components here is always your purpose and your passion. If you score low on purpose, you are a bit risky because your company might be heading towards nowhere or easily changing directions. If you score low on passion, that means you don't believe in your own purpose. Yeah. So if you need more session, always welcome to be in touch with us, and we can always discuss further.
Okay, so basically, if you look at your answer just now, if you included your email, a copy of your result have been emailed to you. So you can just refer to it. Okay, of course, if you want to run the same questionnaire to your staff and whatnot, then you can just be in touch with us. We'll let you know how to actually assess our assessment item. Okay, any question from the audience on the entrepreneur DNA assessment? Okay, apa khabar semua? Okay, good. So with that, yeah.
Before we hand over to Puan Saliza, remember, rather than when the company is not doing well, or rather than waiting for the succession to happen, and then we start doing everything, why not we systemize the purpose and DNA on the very first day itself? Okay, so that is the key message. Yeah, Fairuz.
Okay, so with that, actually, we end our session for the first segment for today, and we purposely make it a very fast-paced session because we want to reserve most of the time to our star attraction. Give a big round of applause to Puan Saliza.
Thank you so much, Dr. Fairuz and Dr. Jin. Okay, as you know, both of them are academicians. When they told me they want 30 minutes, so they really stopped at 2:45 and really on the dot to allow me to have this session with all of you. So once again, how is everyone doing? Tak payah ikut dia, tak payah, tak follow. Itu cikgu-cikgu semua, you know. But it's truly an honor to be given this platform. Thank you so much to the organizer, Dr. Moha. There will be some story that I want to share with you about our personal company experience and our long-term relationship with Bina Pavo. Okay. Anyhow, there are two reasons why I decided to do this session with MMU. Okay. One is because all of us here are basically entrepreneurs, yeah? Any one of you are employees to family business enterprises, you are employees, but you have the aspiration to someday become an entrepreneur, correct? Okay, inshallah, okay. So basically the reason why I decided to invite MMU is because it is very important for companies, especially family business owner, who wants to take their current business to the next level, making sure that you are able to have longevity in your business. You must have in your DNA the entrepreneurial spirit and the entrepreneurial mindset. Some family business owners, second generation or whoever, or maybe business founder, most of them or maybe some of them, when they decided to set up a business, yeah, maybe because they see opportunity, but they don't really have that DNA inside of them. Maybe they are good managers, they can manage the business, but they don't have what it takes to make sure that the business will be able to stay in business for many more generations to come. Hence the reason why this tool is very important for it to give you some ideas about where you are now as an individual. Maybe all of you can go to Dr. Fairuz, ask for free discount so that everyone can do the individual assessment, okay? And also for you to know there is such a tool out there, which is being under the MMU, that would help you to basically plot where you are and, you know, the whereabouts of your employees, okay? So by having that information, that are all data. Once you have data, it's very easy for you to, you know, plan and strategize your next move, okay? So now you know that is a tool. So look back at your chart and really know where you are now, whether you have all the 5 or 6 elements there checked, yeah, to make sure that you are there. And the other reason why we are doing it with MMU and not with other universities, okay, this is where I think it goes back to a sense of purpose. And I think the true sense of being a family business owner is that you must always be thankful to the people, to the organization who help you to be where you are right now. Okay, just to give you a bit of a history, okay, I actually studied engineering at Purdue University. I went to MRSM Taiping in 94, 95. I got a scholarship. I actually studied electrical engineering. So I really planned my CV to make sure that upon graduating from the university, I would be able to secure a very lucrative job in the corporate world. That has always been my ambition, because from primary to secondary, I always strive to be like a student leader. You hold prefect position, you hold this position and all that. So I always make sure that, okay, academic-wise, I do good, as well as my extracurricular activities. But it's on the day of my graduation back in 2020, in the summer of 2020, when my mom actually went to the United States, to Purdue University. It was just outside of Elliott Hall. You know, upon receiving my scroll, the first thing that she asked me is that, upon returning to Malaysia, I want you to join and help me to run the first business in the company at that time known as Berani Guard Sendian Berhad. Yeah, they are all. I think all of you are Malaysians. I think Bapa is from Indonesia, tetapi Satpam, yeah, Berani Guard. It's security services, and I'm sure all of you know that it's a very labor-intensive, not glamorous industry. And then me, with the background of electrical engineering, was asked to join an industry that I'm not passionate about. Okay, so I look at her, I was like, maybe you can ask my other siblings, but no, I'm the youngest child. I have 2 elder sisters. She has already asked my 2 elder sisters, and both of them said no. So I'm basically like the last resort. If I were to look at her in the eyes, you know, tell her that I don't want to, can you imagine the disappointment in my mom, who has actually worked so hard making sure that I go there, you know, although it was on scholarship, but it's quite expensive, you know, to study in the States at that time. So she really supported me, like financially, morally. So I didn't have the heart to say no. So what I did, I was like, okay, all right, okay. So I did try and join the business for about a year, okay. And then really try to gauge whether is this business, family business, is really for me or not, you know. Not only having to face the challenges of being in a very much male-dominated industry at that time, back in 2000, and also I have to, like, there's no other professionals in the business. My mom at that time, she was the MD, she was also the CFO, she was also the tea lady, having to do everything in the business. Do I really want to be in that environment, you know, having that ambition to join corporate? But to cut it short, basically, I realized that the true sense of purpose of me at that time is not just about pursuing my corporate career. Money is something that it will never be enough for everyone. But to me, my true sense of purpose at that time as an individual, that made me decided, yeah, okay, I really want to join the family business, because out of love, and I really want to give back to my mom, okay, at that time. So that has always been my motivation, why I work so hard in making sure that the business thrive, why I make sure that from just one company, we are now have grown into a group of businesses, providing value-added services, not just, you know, security guards. You know, we are also doing a lot of other things. That was actually the true sense of what it's about, giving back, you know, because to me, money, position, everything, there are other ways where you can earn that, but at the end of the day, you have to give back and give love to the person that is the most important person in your life, which is my mother, and I'm sure it goes to you as well. Not saying that fathers are not important. Fathers are also very important. But, you know, for me, it's my mother, okay? So for this session, basically, I'm not an academician like the two of them. I don't really have like much of a statistics and all that, but basically what I'm going to do within the next like 45 minutes or so, is to share some of my personal experience, having been in the business for more than 20 years. The business has been around for 32 years. We just celebrated our 30th anniversary in January of 2022. Not saying that we are perfect, not saying that we are the best example out there, because there's no one size fits all. Every family business is different and unique. But what we need to learn from each other are our experiences, which can be a wealth of resources to one another. Something that I might have done right in our family business might not work for your organization. But maybe I'm at a juncture where I need help and support and guidance from all of you. So I would like everyone to know that I am the star, I'm talking in front of everyone, but I'm not the expert in here. Let us use this platform to learn from each other. So I really want to use most of the session that we have today to really have a very engaging Q&A where I really want all of us to learn from each other. Can we agree on that? All right, cool. All right. So just to give you some facts, just to give you some facts is that this is taken from Conway Center for Family Business. Family-owned businesses are economic powerhouses that drive local, national, and global economies. So I'm looking at all of you as the future superpower in Malaysia that will change the economy of Malaysia as well as Indonesia. We are not here as SME, doing business, want to talk about the conflict that we have in the family. That is something that we have to resolve. But everyone must have a true ambition that where are we going to drive our business? Is it just sufficient just to do business, everyone is happy? No, we could be an economic powerhouse and be the change maker to the economy of our country. And this is a fact stated by a renowned family business center in Europe. Okay, to give you some statistics, family businesses advance global sustainability, and sustainability is basically the keywords right now because we're talking about environmental, social, and governance. Yeah, so we are at the core of what ESG is all about. Now, yes, they're talking about social governance and all that, but the true business founder of family business have been doing it for many, many years because we are the heart of sustainability. And then in Malaysia itself, not sure about in Indonesia, but SME, which stands for Small Medium Enterprises, contributed to 39% of the GP in 2019, and more than 50% of the SMEs in Malaysia are actually family-owned. Yeah, this is a statistic taken from the SME Corp's website. And then globally, 500 family business generated US 8.02 trillion. This is the big money out there, and we are part of that economy. And we, the family business owners, are responsible for over 65% of the global employment, equivalent to 24.1 million people. Let's look at the power that we have and the potentials that we have in making sure that we would be able to do greater good to the economy. Yeah? And then family business constituted as the third largest economic contribution in the world by revenue combined. So do you know how much power you have in your hand right now? Do you understand how much power you have in your hand right now? So for coming here to attend this summit, it's actually a starting point, especially for those who, this is the first time you are attending. But this is something that is very important because you first need to understand the need for you to make changes in your organization, for you to take action, because you can actually be one of them. And you are already one part of this, yeah? Okay, just to give you some visual and some statistics in terms of the large family-owned businesses in Malaysia. I'm sure you are familiar with Lidl. Lidl is a very popular, grocery shops in Europe, in UK and all that. Tata, the business founder just passed away recently, okay? But they have managed to come up with a very, nice structure. So they have a very smooth transition as we speak. Volkswagen, Zara, these are all companies which are owned by family business, okay? Zara, I actually had the opportunity of learning more about Zara when back in 2016, I had the opportunity to attend a 10-day family business management program at University of Jaén in Spain, where we spent about 10 days learning from professors at the university about the ecosystem and the best practices and case studies involving European family business companies. Yeah, and Zara was one of the company that we studied. So for example, Zara, until today, is a multi-billion worth of a business, right? But until today, as you can see, the ownership of the company still remains within the family. Yeah, it's being managed by the founder and the daughter, but there are some ways on how they manage to bring professionals to come on board. Not because they don't have that many like resources when it comes to like family members, but strategically they were able to bring in professionals that will be able to add value to their organization. But see how they managed to structure, okay, the business and still remain as a family-owned enterprise, yeah. And then Walmart, as you know, still remain as a family business. These are some of the international companies, and let's look at some of the local companies, you know. NASA, Valiram, PKT Logistics. PKT Logistics, Dato Wilson Teo, he was the keynote speaker of the Asia Pacific Family Business Summit, the first Asia Pacific Family Business Summit. And because of that session, I had the opportunity to meet him in person. So I really had like a chat, you know, with him. This is the opportunity that every one of you have. If you find any interesting, you know, individuals out there that you want to have a chat with, you can just go up to them and, you know, call them, WhatsApp them, and just request for an appointment. So I was able to meet Dato Sri Michael Teo. We had coffee at Bangsa Shopping Center because I really wanted to learn more apart from that 45 minutes or 30-minute keynote session that we had. And he really shared with me some of the strategies that he did in his company to make sure that this year, despite of COVID, they were able to reach more than 1 billion sales, yeah, and become one of the largest local logistic companies in Malaysia. Still remain as a family business owned. And then just to share some of the exciting things that he did, he started this business, okay, when he was just a student in the UK, okay. He was actually selling, you know, the AP, bringing in cars to Malaysia and all that. And how he got interested to go into that business was because the father at that time used to run like a small workshop trading business in Malaysia, okay? But because he has become so successful, he decided to trace back to the family tree, and he got to know that I think the earlier generation, I think he's now the 5th generation, were actually part of the dynasty in China. So at one time, he told me that he brought all his family members to visit the temple back in China. And that's how they realized that they were that's where the father actually learned, because the father was also selling kway teow at that time during the early years. That's how they actually learned how to do the cooking and started the business in Malaysia. So that's the beauty. Once you become so successful, you're able to do that and trace back to the family tree and go back and just imagine in terms of the pride that you have about the legacy in your organization, yeah? So that is something that I learned from Dato Sri, and I'm sure you are familiar with Sunway Group, YTL, and Genting Group. And Sunway is also part of this program, and just so happens Sunway is also one of our clients in which we are providing security services to, yeah? Okay, despite the fact that family-owned businesses are economic powerhouses, okay, yet 30% family business successfully transition from first to second generation. How many of you are business founder, first generation? Okay, first generation, okay. Second generation? Okay, okay. Third generation, don't have here? Okay, so I think we have like about 50-50. But just imagine, for those who come from the first generation business founder, know that there is only 30% chance that you are able to transition your business successfully to the second generation, okay? By being here today, it means that you really want to continue the legacy. So the intention, the niat, nawaitu is already very important. That's why you are here. And this is the perfect platform for you to connect with people within the ecosystem, yeah? And for second generation business owner, know that the statistic even got worse. Only 13% of us, and I'm representing second generation entrepreneur, that there's only 13% chance that like we are able to transition our business from second to third, okay? What will happen after that? Does that mean that what Dr. Jean and Dr. Fairuz mentioned just now, that family business only lasts up to third generations? But you can see Puan Fauzia, she's already a fourth generation family business owner. Okay, Walmart, we're talking about like, more than third generation. And when I went to Spain, just to share, I didn't put any information on the screen, but I was able to meet a seventh generation family business owner, one of the largest Italian olive oil producers. Yeah, so met him and he gave a talk to all the participants. There were about 25 of us, and you know where he gave the talk to? He actually delivered the session, the sharing with us from a castle that is registered with the United Nations heritage, So just imagine, seventh generation family business owner. He spoke to us from this like castle, and then he took us to have a view of the orchard. And then he shared with us the innovation that he did in his business, making sure that they still remain relevant after so many years. Does it mean that it's impossible? It is possible. It's just that we need to know the ways and the tools, and we definitely need to prepare now, not to wait until we almost on the deathbed, then only we want to make the planning. No, we have to do it now. Yeah? Okay. So, So common mistakes made by business founder: business has no clear objectives and goal, no succession planning, poor financial planning, no wealth preservation, unable to resolve conflicts, emotions, and lack of entrepreneurial mindset. For me, this is why we want to focus for this session, because there's definitely a lot of areas that we can cover, but because of time, this is where we want to cover, making sure that all of us are true entrepreneur and we can be the right role model, making sure that the second generation or the third generation would be able to have at least the same qualities for the business to have, to sustain and thrive in the coming years, especially when we are no longer around. Okay, so basically, what I will be doing next is to share with you some 5 key points, things which I think is relevant to this topic. But just to share with you some of the inputs that I will be sharing with you, it doesn't come only because I'm the group CEO or MD of this family business, okay? Like I mentioned, the business has been around for 32 years, okay? I'm a second gen. I so happy, so lucky that I managed to acquire my MBA from MMU. And now they have appointed me as the industry advisory panel. And we also have an MOU with Multimedia University, whereby we managed to convince the university that it is important to study about family business. Yeah, because at the moment we have lack of data, right? Not a lot of people are sharing. We don't have many resources. But just imagine if we have a lot of data can be translated into statistics. And what statistics can do to all of us, it can be used as numbers, figures, where we can push for policies. Yeah, now there are so many grants that are being given to startups. Maybe second generation, third generation companies who have been around for 20, 30 years can receive financial support, tax exemption, right, from the government, because we are the powerhouse of the economy. It's just that we need statistics and data. So some of the collaborations that we are doing with MMU is that we are going to co-publish a book highlighting stories about successful family business owners. And of course, it will be guided by some researchers from MMU so that the data and the figures which will be shared in the book will carry value, and we hope that instead of just 10, we will be able to produce more books in the future so that we can actually use the data and push for policy changes. Yeah. So these are some of the my other affiliations. So the experience come from my affiliations with some of the NGO, even with CIRIM, because I was also part of the project committee in developing the ESG management system for planning and reporting. So sustainability, as I mentioned, ESG is very new, but all of us have been doing ESG all this while. Yeah? So don't be overwhelmed when people say that you have to follow ESG. Actually, this is something that is so easy to be implemented, especially for family business owners. Yeah. All right. Okay, 5 key points. A simple one because we don't have much time. Okay. Sharing from my personal experience, okay, it is very important for us to set the values in our family business. Let's not talk about entrepreneurial mindset. Let's not talk about, sustain the business for second to third generation if you do not have the right values. Yeah, because all of us here, when we become like we are part of the family members, we must be the role model to everyone. Okay, so values within the family is very important. What do I mean by values? It can be as simple as trusting one another, you know, integrity, no backstabbing, no pilih kasih, you know, you only know this person is beneficial to you, then you kind of like go to these family members and all that. So creating a strong family value is like creating like the foundation of a very stable and successful family business. So family values is very important, and in order to do so, you need to be able to share those values and translate it into a vision, okay, that is common for all the family members, that they need to buy into the vision of your organization. Yeah. And then I want to talk about family governance. Okay, some of the speakers earlier talk about structure, talk about governance. Yes, it is very important. We might share the same values. Okay, we want to do good. We want to make sure that our family members, generations to come have, you know, good academic, you know, and all that. But if you do not have structure, if you do not have governance, then you will be in trouble because there's no guide and you'll be going everywhere. So I'm happy to share that after learning from what I learned in Spain, that was in 2016, it was in September 2016, I came back and I shared it with my mother at that time that, look, both of us really want to make sure that the business will remain for many more years, for many more generations to come. Then I learned about this because Zara actually have family constitution in their organization. That's why they're able to bring in professionals without having any repercussion to the ownership of the business. So I told my mom what I learned, okay, and what happened. Unfortunately, in November 2016, my mom passed away, but I had that blessing from her, let's do this. So Alhamdulillah, with Bina Pavo, we appointed them as a consultant in 2021, in July, the date, the birth month of my mother. We actually published our family constitution after working on it for 6 months. Yeah, from January to June. So what I would like to share here is that family constitution is very important, and what is inside the family constitution is everything that, for example, like May have mentioned. For example, we have family employment policy. In our family constitution, we have entry and exit plan for the next gen. What is the requirement? Once they have finished their study, they cannot immediately join. We told them they cannot immediately come and join. They have to gain experience outside, then only they come. For example, we put a limit 5 years. Then we will ask you the question, are you ready to come and join the organization? So all this was spelled out, and we'd work on this, and then there were like so many other things. For example, 5% of our company's dividend will be channeled into our family fund. Family fund is the money that we'll use to sponsor everyone to go on vacation. Otherwise, it's like, who's going to sponsor? Is it going to be our money or is it going to be the company's money? So 5% of the dividend has been spelled out in the constitution that we will channel it to the family fund. So we will do like majlis tahlil, you know, and all that family vacation using that fund. So it will not have any impact on the accounts of the business, okay? So all that was spelled out. And the other thing that we also spell out is making sure that we celebrate everything that is important in the family. For example, we even put like the date of birth of everyone. Must make sure that we do gatherings, you know, because sometimes it's like, oh, somebody needs to initiate. When you rely on somebody in the family to initiate, I tell you, it will never happen because no one will be so rajin to actually initiate something. But when we have assigned specific roles, then you will follow that as a guide. So it's actually very lengthy to talk about that, but this is something that I learned in Spain. I brought it in Malaysia, but I want to make sure that I do not dictate the content. Hence the reason, strategically, I brought in Bina Pavo, making sure that they become the moderator and involve all the family members. So my 2 sisters and my 2 nieces, they are all above 18. I have 2 children, but they are still young, 12 and 10. Even my husband, although he's my husband, but he's not involved in the business, okay? So all of them were involved in structuring the family constitution. And what happened last year in September, my second sister passed away due to cancer. So we were able to activate whatever that we have agreed in the family constitution without creating any conflict with my nieces. So for example, her shares, okay, were offered to my other niece, my second niece, but when she said no, there's a next step on what we need to do. So now my first niece hold on to the shares of my late sister as a proxy, as a caretaker, until the next generation is able to turn 18 and be offered the same thing. Yeah, so all that been spelled out. So there's no favoritism like this is my rule, this is a rule, a guideline which everyone in the family members have agreed because we have a family constitution. Okay, so I've been given a sign that we only have like 5 minutes. Okay, just to share, this is my family, my kids when we celebrated our 30th anniversary. This is my first sister, my second sister, and my 2 nieces. We only have 1 boy in the family, but this is also the opportunity that I used to actually publish and wrote a book actually. So at that time, there was no ChatGPT, there's no like all the resources in the internet. So I really took the time during MCO to really put my heart and soul to write and publish this book as a gratification for me to the business founder, to my mom. And basically for all the Muslim, you know that they said that when you are no longer around, there are 3 things, right, where the pahala and the deeds will continue. One is doa anak yang soleh, praised by the children. Second is the good deeds that you do while you are still alive. And third, the knowledge that you continue to put into practice. So on a personal capacity, that has been my personal motivation, that all this sharing, insyaAllah, the business founder, my late mom, will continue to reap all the benefit, yeah, so insyaAllah. So that has always been the motivation on a personal capacity, why I have like a main business, but I still love doing this sharing to advocate on family business sustainability, okay? And then the second thing is to promote education skills development, especially when it comes to second generation. Most of us sometimes tend to take it for granted. I don't have to further my study because we are super rich already. I can just join the family business and, you know, be assigned to a specific designation, you know, or a role. But that's not correct, that you still need to put focus in terms of education, okay? Education meaning you have to complete your degree or whatever, you know, have to do some continuous learning, for example, attend conferences like this or go to Spain to learn more about family business and all that. And definitely the senior, they definitely to play a role as a mentors to the younger generation, yeah? Don't undermine their capability. Do not overwhelm them with your knowledge, saying that you know better. Be a good mentor, be a good coach, because trust me, sometimes they know better than you, okay? You need to learn from them as well. So as a business founder, first gen, you need to play a role as a mentor. So continuous learning is something very important. Sorry, I'm rushing. So this is a picture of my niece, who is also currently the board director and the shareholder of the company. When she actually graduated from Queen Mary's University in London, she studied economics, and at the moment she plays a role as a board in taking care of our accounts and our finance. Yeah, we have our accountant, we have our account assistant, but she makes sure that no money goes out without my approval and her approval. So that's kind of like a gatekeeper, making sure that there's no mismanagement when it comes to the expenses and all that. And that's my late sister that we went to London together with my husband and my cousins and all that to celebrate. So celebration is also something very important. And when we went for this trip, we did not use the company's money. We actually used the family fund. So there were not any issue with the company expenses. Yeah. And then encourage entrepreneur mindset. This is something that I think Dr. Fairoz and Dr. Ong has already shared. Okay, innovation culture, entrepreneurship, stay agile. Here, I just want to share, okay, like for example, this is the company that my mom set up 32 years ago. But in 2001, I joined. I realized that I do not want to be an owner or a business owner of only Beranigat and Beranigat alone. So I looked at other opportunities and I proposed to her that we need to change the business model, that now we have become an integrated and hybrid one-stop security and safety solutions provider advocating sustainability and impact. What it means is that we set up a holding company, BG Capital Holding Sdn Berhad, and then this company provides security services. This company provides training services and consultancy to international companies. And this company has the license to provide security system solutions, AI, drone, CCTV, face recognition, and we are currently serving companies like British American Tobacco, Maersk, Petronas, and then Sunway Group and all that. And Entrepreneurship, this is something that I created back in 2021 when we wanted to publish the book. But I know that this is not going to be a core business, right, for the security. So what happened is that I invested my own money to set up this company, but the holding company owns 30%. So meaning it provides an environment where when you have a business idea, when you have the creativity, the main holding company would be able to invest, but you are not like relying solely in terms of the business to fund, but you have the capability to invest, co-invest in the business. So meaning to say that if, let's say, any of my children decided not to take over the security company, maybe they decided to go into fashion, by all means, go into fashion. Holdings company will be able to invest, but provided that you come up with a proper business model, yeah, that is profitable. That's all that we need to do, making sure that we provide that with the opportunity, mentorship, and the funding if we have the means to do so. Yeah, so making sure that we remain agile and able to meet the needs of our future generation. Okay, succession plan. I'm going to just identify one. You need to identify who is your next successor. Do not be like another company of my friend where they decided not to kind of like pick any of the children. So what happened? He did not do any will. For Muslim especially, you know, that all the harta will be divided equally to all the siblings. There's actually a percentage structure. What happened? This particular person that I know, during his lifetime, he had, I think, more than 10 wives. So ended up having like 40 children or something like that. So when before he passed away, he decided, I'm not going to give any share to my child from my second marriage who was serving him as the managing director at that time. So he decided to divide all equally. So the MD, who was serving as the MD at that time, only got maybe 2% equal with the rest. So what happened? The younger sibling decided to gang out with the other sibling. So basically they put like a trustee and kick him out as the MD. And what happened now? This person who was relying on the business for his survival and was contributing to the company has now zero stake in the company because the younger sibling who have different vision decided to kick him out from the business. So that's why if you're the business founder, although it's a bit difficult that maybe I like you, I don't like you, or I feel that you are going to be the next successor, the next best leader because of the checklist or whatever, you need to put your foot down and name the successor. That's very important. And you can do this by having some documents. There are ways of doing this professionally, not that you just sign a piece of paper, but you need to determine who your next successor is going to be. Yeah, and then next gen leadership, prepare them from now. So this is an article that came out a few months after my mom passed away. And this is my daughter. When I got invited to do a sharing in Hawaii, I decided to bring her along. So yes, it's a free vacation for her, but at least I want her to see and be part of my journey. Because when I went there, I spoke about the company, about the business. So this is in a way a strategy, so to speak, that I have fun with my children, but at the same time, I get them to start earlier on without having to give any specific tasks. Yeah, so I still continue doing that, and whenever I have things to discuss, even like sometimes normal Canva, because now she's 12 years old, she can do Canva. Simple things also I will get her to do. So sometimes I just give her like, okay lah, I give you extra pocket money, something like to make her, to make sure that she enjoys doing whatever that she needs to do. And I have deep, meaningful conversation with her. Yeah, not that, oh, you don't know, you are young, you do not need to know anything about the business. So I do have DMC, deep, meaningful conversation with my children, although they are young, so that they really understand. But of course, you do not show your temperament, in front of them. You handle it, differently at the office. But I do share. I do have good conversation with my children. Okay, and then I think the last thing that I want to share is emotional resilience. For example, you look at the earlier slide that I mentioned that I involved with a lot of like NGO and all that. It's not I mean, there's a reason behind doing all that. It's because that's my outlet to get additional support, support from outsiders. Because if you're too focused in terms of your family business, you're gonna be strained because it can be quite stressful, because you have to think about your responsibility as the business leader. Somehow you have to take care of your family and all that. So I really make sure that I able to contribute and learn from other platform, and at the same time I make sure that I have dedicated vacation only with my immediate family, because I mentioned my husband, he's not involved in the business, so I have the freedom to talk to him about things which are not related to the business. Yeah, so I don't. Okay, somebody said that they have their board meeting at dinner table. I don't do that. Dinner table is where I get to enjoy my dinner. I get to cook for my children. If you want to talk business, there will be a time where we can do that. But home is where we just talk about family things which are matters, which is family. Okay, business can come second, but there will always be an avenue where I call for meeting, then we talk about business. Otherwise, dinner is dinner. Don't talk about business or anything at dinner table, even though it's with my nieces and all that. Yeah. So basically, mentorship is one of the key elements when it comes to nurturing entrepreneurship across generations. First, as what I mentioned, you need to identify whether are you an entrepreneur. Do you have what it takes to lead the business that you are leading right now? If you are a true leader, if you are a true entrepreneur, then only you will be able to create that environment, that platform whereby you are able to nurture, give support to the next generation, making sure that they're able to continue the business legacy that you have already created. Yeah. So mentorship is not something that is easy. It's something that you need to have patience and give and take and all that, and it needs talents for you to do mentorship on others. Yeah. So, and then lastly, I think what I want to share is that it's all about balance. Okay, it's not just about having family constitution. It's not just having about values. You need to have all that. You need to be innovative. You need to have commitment to the values. You need to have like trust, transparency, and all that. It's all about balance. So balance is about two things. One is values. The other one is strategies. Strategies, you need to be like making sure that your financial planning and all that. So I don't really want to go into strategies, but at the end of the day, values and strategies are very important. Hence the reason why at the end of this session, what I would like to give to all of you who have been so kind in attending Masterclass number 2 with my co-partner, Dr. Fairuz and Dr. Ong, all of you will receive this book on a complimentary basis, okay, from me as my gift to all of you. In this book, basically, like I said, it's not like a guide, do number 1, do number 2, number 3. It's all about sharing my babbling during my MCO, okay, my outlet, what I want to write. But in this book, basically, it covers two things, values and strategies. Yeah, so I would like all of you to have a copy of this book. And my assistant is there, Miss Ayu. So we have actually a booth outside, so you can collect your book there. But if you want me to autograph, then we can do it later. Yeah, so this is a gift for me, and also to on behalf of my two lovely gentlemen, handsome. Actually, which one is more handsome? Dr. Ong is definitely more handsome lah. Okay, although these two people are younger than me, Okay, so and then lastly, for those who are from KL, I just would like to invite all of you. Maybe Bapak boleh datang sekali lagi ke Malaysia, tak jauh kan, murah saja, naik Garuda kan, naik AirAsia. Jadi, like I mentioned that we are having this engagement or this collaboration with MMU. So this coming 28th of November, we are going to organize this dialogue session. Is only for 30 people on the topic of born into family business. Is it a blessing or a curse? Okay, it's going to be a 2-hour session. Okay, this lady is Puan Siti Kawa. She is the owner of Rempah Ratus Mak Siti. They are the owner of the largest herbs plantation in Malaysia, inducted in the in the Malaysia Book of Records. She's a second gen, and she's currently helming the business. So, and then the second one, I don't know whether all of you are familiar with this lady. This is Puan Liana Marzuki. She has 60K followers on Facebook because she's a lawyer, activist on the political scenario in Malaysia. But just so happened that in May this year, she actually published a book with Karang Craft on the topic of Jangan Pajak Otak. So basically during this session, we would like her to share her experience in terms of book writing, okay, so that it will inspire other family business to also contribute in terms of writing the book. And then we will also have Dr. Lini from MMU. She will share their arrangement and the program that they have in encouraging more family business owner to be part of the book publication, highlighting 10 family business owner that both of us plan to publish by next year. So this program will be sponsored in terms of food and venue by MMU. My job is just to invite people, making sure I have the right speakers, and then be on that day to moderate the session. So I would like to extend invitations to all of you, especially those who are in Kuala Lumpur, to scan this QR code, register, because the last day to register is on the 21st of November. We still have space. Just take note, we only limit to 30 people. And I managed to get Sun's Wellness. If you Google, there is also one of the popular wellness center in Malaysia. They have agreed to give dog gifts to everyone. So I have received some of the dog gifts from them. You're talking about nice bags and all that. So this is where we want to enlarge our support system and our networking, because after we have attended this summit, listen to me talking, especially after listening to Dr. Fairuz, you will get mental breakdown, right? So you need to go to Suns and have all the spa and the massage, so you'll get maybe some free vouchers or something from them, yeah? So take the opportunity to register. And I think with that, I would like to end the masterclass. So thank you very much to everyone for your time, okay? In like negative, in negative 5 minutes.
So anybody wants to ask any questions to any or one else?
Thank you. This is yours.
Everybody is ready.
Oh.
Like opportunity. Yes, yes. At what point one okay to sit down? At what point do you financial availability?
Just so happen that maybe when you talk about entrepreneurial mindset, I think maybe just so happen that I've always had that, because for example, when I was a student at MRSM Taiping, I was actually involved in their program Usahawan Muda, Young Entrepreneur Program. It was the time that my mom left the government. She was a rank and file. She's not like a Datuk Datin or high rank. She's just like a normal person working at the Jabatan Tenaga Kerja. She saw opportunity, that's why she decided to sell all her property, invest in the business, and at the same time, I was doing that program. So it was like eye opener, like entrepreneurship, doing right, you know, being guided by Mara, and then you have that having the opportunity to witness my mom. So it was at that, maybe I had that in me. So when I first joined the business, because of I wanted to support my mom, I always had the mission that what I want to achieve in my life. I always had to plan. So when I see that it's not going to be sustainable if you only do that business, it was during the first few years. And maybe I was quite lucky because my mom was never autocratic. She's very empathetic. She has that empathetic leadership quality in her, where she would listen to me. In fact, sometimes I feel that I'm more dominant. Now after she passed me, I was so rude when she walked like, you know. But I know that I do it for the good reason, you know. It's always about like business is business, family we can go makan, but when we talk about business, it's difficult for me to like, okay, so no, so I'm like that. So maybe with the support and knowing where I want to bring the business, I had the opportunity having a good conversation with my mom, and she was the one who allowed me to diversify and to do good things with the business. Her message to me was that you can do whatever you want with the business as long as it's for the good name and the benefit of the business, not only for my personal benefit. So again, I think DMC, deep meaningful conversation, is very important, regardless of the leadership quality that the business founder may have. It's important for you to have good, meaningful conversation, then tie it back to how you are able to lead the business. If I don't have the aspirations to become an entrepreneur, maybe I don't even want to have that conversation with my mom. It's like, you just do whatever you want, I'll just do whatever you want me to do. But I know where I want to bring myself and the business. That's why I took the opportunity. Let's have this conversation. I went to MWU to learn about MBA, to learn Master in Business Administration. Brought that. I joined the Women Entrepreneurs Association, learned from all the other successful business people, and brought the best practices into our organization. Of course, it's a continuous process. I'm still learning, I'm still adjusting whatever that we need to do in the business. But at least that was the turning point. I know what I want to do. I know what I want to bring. I know my capability. But I managed to get the support from the business founder, and that was the true blessing.
Okay. So thank you everyone. Let's give another